Let's go to Becky in H-Town. What's up, Becky?
Hey, Dr. John, thank you so much for taking my call.
Of course, go Stros. What's up?
Yes. I was just calling. I'm trying to figure out how I can get my son to respect me as well as control his outbursts that he has.
Respect my authority. So tell me what's going on.
Well, so me and his dad are divorced.
Okay.
So I know that takes a toll.
Yep.
His dad was very much verbally and emotionally abusive towards me in front of him.
Okay.
At the time when we lived together, my son would step up in front of me, which was shocking because he was, little. And he would be like, you can't talk to mom like that. And then now I find him, now that we're separated, he talks to me similar to the way his dad used to talk to me.
That's right. So you said, I know it takes a toll. I want you to think of this as every single thing he knows burned to the ground.
Okay.
This isn't taking a toll. This is caustic. Okay. This is the insides of your little boy are on the outside now. It's that big of a trauma. Okay. And here's a devastating thing about what you just described, abusive relationships, is especially little kids, but it stays with us until we're adults, is he knows that part of you is part of him and that part of dad is part of him. And so if he identifies dad as bad or wrong or evil, that means part of him is bad or wrong or evil. And psychologically speaking, it's easier and makes more sense, especially in a child or a traumatized adult, to identify and to begin to reproduce the same behaviors than it is to distance yourself and say, that's evil and wrong. And that means part of me is dark and I got to do some healing inside. You see what I'm saying? It's very hard, especially for an 8-year-old. So the easy way to say it is he's got a picture of how to treat women. He's got a picture. And I'm going to follow that picture. Until somebody...
He doesn't do it to every woman.
No, because your husband probably did do that to every woman. It's not a gender thing. It's a you thing.
Okay.
It's a home thing. It's the way you treat you because he got a pretty clear model of that. Here's a hard question. Can I ask you a couple of hard questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, not being mean. I just want to get a full picture. Okay. Are you respectable?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Look at you. You were like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm a good person and I stick true to my morals and my values, I feel like.
Okay, that's one piece. And respectable, it has a moral and a character thing to it, okay? Let's pull that apart a little bit. And here's what I mean by respectable. Do you have real firm boundaries? Are you good with schedules? And this is when bedtime is? And you will not speak to me this way. And if you've chosen to talk to me this way, then you're choosing to leave the room, right? Are there some consequences too? And that's what I mean by respectable. Think of respectable as I'm anchored into steel, into concrete, right?
I'm trying.
Okay. So here's that little, does he live with you full time?
Yeah, he does his dad every other weekend. So right now, unfortunately, he's with his dad the whole month. So I know I have a lot of work to do when he comes back.
Yeah. So is he going to stay he lives with you?
He lives with me.
Okay.
Yeah. And we just moved so he had a whole new living situation now too. So it's been a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Because we lived with dad and then we moved in with my parents because I had to leave that household. And, I left and took him with me and then separated him from his siblings that he has because his dad has other kids. And then now we've moved to our own home our own home.
So his world doesn't exist.
Been upside down for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. Here's where we're going to start. Okay.
Sure.
There's going to be, and this is going to be you're playing a 20-year game now. You're not playing a week-by-week game anymore. Okay?
Okay.
Playing a 20-year game. And that means you're going to have hell on earth for weeks and sometimes months on end. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't fight that. Know that it's coming. Because you got a little boy that thinks he did something that sent dad away forever. He thinks he did something that took brothers and sisters away. He thinks if I had just done something a little bit different, Dad wouldn't have been so mean to Mom. Wait a minute. Dad was mean to Mom, probably was Mom's fault, right? So he's going to have to be processing in his 8-year-old little brain, right? So that's where we're going to start. We're playing a long game here. Here's number 2. Every son knows, not everyone, but most sons know their moms love them. I want you to work really hard to let your son know that you like him.
Okay.
Okay? And that's hard, especially when he reminds you of your husband, when he talks to you in ways that your husband, so you're going to have a lot of deprogramming to do after a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he complains about things and you know he's kind of right. You're like, I had lots of brothers and sisters and friends and we did a bunch of stuff and you make me do homework. You're the worst. I can see that. You know what I mean? That makes sense to me. He had to lose everything just so you could be safe. Like that math doesn't work in an 8-year-old's head. Okay? And he's going to need you to be patient and to love him, obviously, but to like him. And here's how we like our kids. We set up situations where we can be successful. So we're going to have boundaries. We're going to have firm boundaries. We're going to have strong anchor points, and we're going to have some silly moments. We're going to be unreasonable sometimes. Hey, you just want to have ice cream for dinner? Yep. Right. We're going to do silly things. I'm going to come pick you up randomly once every few months from school, and we're going to go to the arcade, just blow it and go to the movie. And I'm going to do these things because I like you. I value spending time with you. You aren't the reason I left Dad. He was, right? And this is a lifelong journey he's going to have to undergo. And then here's a couple other things. He's going to need some real direct counseling. Okay.
He's in play therapy.
Good. My guess is he's going to have rage that would make people's teeth fall out. Okay. They're going to throw all kind of diagnostic labels at you and all this. They
said he's ADHD, which
of course they will, and it's going to move to oppositional defiant disorder in the next year or two, right? You'll get all these diagnosed labels. Here's the way I want you to hear those things. Mm-hmm. It's a little boy's body trying to respond to his world exploding. Okay, so all those labels and your son's not broken.
I know,
right? He's not dysfunctional. He is trying to make sense of something that it cannot be made sense out of. Mm-hmm. And he needs a mom who likes him. Here's the third thing I want you to do. And you may have heard me talk about this on the show a lot. When he gets back this summer, I want you to go to Michael's or to what do you call it? One of those home goods stores where you can buy a big canvas, like a 3-foot by 5-foot one, a big one. Okay. And I want you to do a big painting project together where you're going to paint a thing on it. And then I want you to take him to a real nice dinner. Like make him dress up.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about who we are, family values. And when you're in this house, because he's going to toggle back and forth between homes.
Yeah.
It's going to be impossible for his little 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old brain to toggle that, but that's what the courts do. Okay. So when he's in your house, this is who we are. And let him talk into that. Let him express, and we are, and fill in the blank. And some of those things in my house are, we talk to each other with dignity and respect. We're kind to one another, even when we're upset. We're allowed to be angry, but we're not going to be disrespectful in our anger. We pick up after ourselves. We laugh a lot. We fill in the blank, right? We go on adventures. Mm-hmm. We say yes. We invite people over. These are some of the Delony family values. They're going to be different for you guys. But here's why they're important. For the next 15 years, they're a touchstone for you. What I mean by that, when he has an outburst and he blows up at you, here's what he's trying to find out. Are you going to leave too? Is there something I can do that you'll leave like Dad did? And he needs to know, absolutely not. But he can make some choices to where he decides to leave. And he'll take ownership of that real fast. Here's what I mean. Let's say he comes in and you say, hey, pick up your backpack. And he goes, I don't pick up my backpack for stupid women. Let's say he says something like that. You can say, get out. Get out. What he knows by that is there is a line with which Mom will weaponize our relationship and kick me out of her presence. The other way to do that is to sit down and look him in the eye and say, you've chosen to violate one of our family values. Because in this house, we talk to each other with dignity and respect, and you chose to be disrespectful, which means you chose to leave my presence. You chose to leave our family table, and I want you here. I like you better than being here alone. And it breaks my heart that I'm choosing to have my heart broken that you chose to leave for 10 minutes. Please go do your 10 minutes and choose to come back in here because I want you here. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to take quick ownership of, I get to choose when I'm in a relationship with mom, and I want to be with mom because she likes me.
Okay.
This is
he thinks everything's like my fault. Like if he gets in trouble, it's my fault that he's in trouble.
Absolutely.
And then he goes into this, well, maybe I should just die, or maybe I should kill myself, or he'll throw things, or he'll like hit his head, or
Sure.
like whatever.
And this is a 8-year-old boy who is trying to make sense of chaos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's using every word he knows, every grenade he knows. It's the last soldier in a bunker, and everyone around him is gone, and he's going to throw every grenade he's got. That's all he's got. Last ditch effort. He's 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's what we're teaching him. We're teaching him that he can choose, because right now he's felt completely powerless to everybody leaving in his life. And yes, he's going to blame you. When he asked Dad, how come you don't live with us? Well, because your mom walked out on me.
That's what he says.
That's how the story, right? And he's 8. He's going to believe his dad. He looks like his dad. He wants to be like his dad.
Yeah, he does look like his dad.
That's right. So he sees a reflection of himself, and he doesn't not like himself. So it must be your fault, right? So that's what I'm saying. You're playing a 20-year game. The goal isn't to get him to like you. The goal is to get him to understand that he's likable. Right? And that means he's going to say 8-year-old stuff. Also, if he threatens suicide, you call in everybody every time on that. Right? You know that. I don't mess around with that. But when it comes to this is your fault, you can say, I'm so sorry that you're hurting. It's not my fault, but I respect your right to be upset. I'm sad that this is the way this is too. Let him know that you're a person and that you didn't draw this one up either. Right?
Okay.
And it's going to be a long game. And he'll say things over the years that will break your heart. You got to have people in your life that you can talk to as well. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. I mean, I'm proud of you for looking in the mirror and saying he deserves more than you deserve more than to be abused.
Thank you.
I know that is a grenade that blew up everything in your life too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry that happened.
Me too.
It's real hard right now, and you feel like you've lost almost everything and that you're losing your son. I think you did the right thing. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You have a good job? You working?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Putting it, like, money's okay? You're putting it together?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. I'll walk with you as long as until I get fired and this podcast goes away. But will you call me back if you ever need anything?
Sure.
Okay. I'll walk alongside you the whole way. Work real closely with school counselors. Work real closely with school. At some point, again, this is pie in the sky. I'm just dreaming here. At some point, potentially, possibly, you and your ex are able to, he's able to not be a child, not talk bad about you. Not because he's not mad and not because he's not pouting or whatever, but because he wants his son to grow up and be whole and be well. And I hear that more and more these days, that people are wise enough and smart enough and adult enough to understand that, yes, our marriage was a wreck. We blew it up. It didn't work. I cheated. I got mad. I was abusive, whatever. But I'm going to be respectful to you moving forward as we co-parent our kid, because our kid deserves more than repeating this nonsense. That's my hope. That maybe in this situation never going to happen, but I'm gonna hold out hope for that. Thanks for your call, Becky, and holler back if you ever need anything.